Fishnet Bible Stories proudly presents
Hannah's Prayer. Hannah and Elkanah were married. They loved each other very much. Hannah wanted a baby boy to carry, but no baby came, and she cried so very much. Hannah and Elkanah loved God a great deal. They would visit his holy temple every year and celebrate with a big meal. But this year, Hannah wasn't hungry. So Hannah left the table. She went to the altar on her own. Hannah prayed from her heart, but she thought that she was all alone. Eli the priest saw Hannah kneeling. He asked if she was all right. Hannah told Eli she was praying. Eli said God would answer her prayer, and Hannah felt bright. Hannah joined her husband back at the table. They smiled, laughed, and ate. Hannah and Elkanah went home later, happy they didn't have much longer to wait. God happily answered Hannah's prayer, and a baby boy finally came. Hannah and Elkanah loved and carried him. Samuel was his name. Hannah promised God that he could keep Samuel. She told Elkanah what she wanted to do. Elkanah understood what had to be done. The promise must be kept true. When Samuel was a toddler, Hannah and Elkanah took him to the feast. They thanked God for their baby with sacrifices and left Samuel to live with the priest. Samuel worships God. Samuel grew up with Eli the priest. He grew stronger and wiser each year. God blessed his parents with many more children. They visited Samuel at the feast every year. When his mother Hannah came to visit, she always brought Samuel a brand new robe. When Samuel worshipped God with Eli in the temple, Samuel always wore his little robe. However, Eli the priest had grown-up sons, but they acted very, very bad. These sons did not want to do what was right. They stole, and they lied, and they made God very sad. But Samuel would worship God. He always tried to do what was right. Samuel obeyed Eli and obeyed God's laws. Samuel worshipped God by choosing to do what was right. A prophet came to Eli the priest to give him a message from God.
Eli,
The man said,
your sons make God so sad. They hurt people, steal, and go where they don't belong. You must correct them for doing all these wrongs. If you don't, God must punish them, because what they do is bad.
But Eli's sons did not worship God. They kept acting very, very bad. They kept on choosing not to do what was right. Eli's sons made God so very sad. Samuel's heart was very tender. Samuel kept worshiping God. Samuel's love for God grew bigger and bigger. God loved Samuel, and Samuel loved God. Samuel listens to God. God called to Samuel while he was sleeping. Samuel thought it was Eli calling to him, so he asked Eli what he needed. Eli said,
Samuel, go back to sleep. What needs to be done, we'll keep.
Again, God called Samuel while he was sleeping. Samuel ran to Eli asking what he needed. Eli said,
Samuel, go back to sleep. What needs to be done, we'll keep.
A third time, God called Samuel while he was sleeping. Samuel ran to Eli, asking what he needed. Eli said,
Samuel, it is God that is speaking. Next time tell God, I am here. I will listen.
Again, God called Samuel while he was sleeping. Samuel said,
Yes, God, I am here. I will listen.
God said,
Tell Eli his sons are doing evil. He must correct them from doing wrong, or they will die because they hurt my people.
Then Samuel finally went to sleep. The next morning, Eli asked the boy what God had said. With tears, Samuel told Eli about his sons doing evil. He must correct them from doing wrong, or they will die because they hurt God's people. But Eli did not correct his sons, and Eli's heart was filled with dread. One day a message came from the battlefield. Both of Eli's sons were dead. When Eli heard the terrible news, he cried so hard that he fell off his chair. Whoa! Eli died the same day as his sons. Samuel cried and prayed a prayer. God made Samuel the priest at the temple. Samuel worshiped God and tried to do what was right. He obeyed God's laws and blessed God's people by acting right. Samuel becomes a priest. Eli and his sons were dead, and Samuel became Israel's priest. He loved God and he loved the people. He fasted, prayed, and celebrated God's feasts. Samuel told the people to get rid of evil sins. They must throw away their idols and return to God again. Samuel said,
God alone we must worship, or the Philistines can hurt us. Always love and worship God, then he will protect us. Everyone meet me at Mizpah, and I will pray for you. Let's fast and pray to God so he will forgive and protect us.
God heard Samuel's prayers and made the Philistines all confused. Instead of hurting Israel, their own soldiers they had bruised. The Philistines went back to their own country. They didn't bother Israel anymore. Israel had peace all around, and no one bothered them anymore. Samuel always fasted and prayed for the people. He traveled all around. Samuel judged the people throughout Israel. He kept them godly, safe, and sound. Israel wants a king. Samuel grew old, and his sons were grown men. He made them leaders of the temple. Samuel's sons cheated, lied, and stole. They didn't love God or bless the people. The people spoke to Samuel. They said, "Your sons are very bad. They will not treat us fair like you. We want to be like other nations. We want a king." This made Samuel very sad. Samuel knelt down and prayed to God. He told God how the people wanted a king. God told Samuel to give the people what they wanted, but to warn them of all the trouble a king would bring.
A king will take their sons to raise his horses, plow his fields, and fight his wars. A king will take their daughters to work for him. They will bake and cook and do all the chores. A king will make the people give to him their grapes and olives and wheat. A king will make the people give to him their donkeys and cows, goats and sheep.
Samuel spoke to the people. He told them God's warning. They said, "We still want a king." They didn't care about the trouble a king would bring. Again, Samuel prayed to God.
The people still want a king.
God told Samuel.
Give the people what they want. Give them their king.
Thanks for watching. This was a combination of several videos compiling our series on Samuel the Prophet. Please give us a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed it, and check out our other Bible story videos. Bye!